Hey guys, just before the video starts,
don't forget to subscribe to Nicrombious. He's an epic gaming channel who actually produces good videos. We also did an epic collab. If you haven't seen the video yet, go and check it out. Link in the description. Let's get on to the video.
Smashed window, oozed window, smashed window, smashed window. Oh, who would have guessed? Another smashed and oozed window. Today, we explore an abandoned train carriage from Australian National Railways, or ANR. This particular carriage entered service in 1952 as BRF 91. Then, in 1973, it was converted to OWA 91 and renamed to the Community Service Car for use on the Tea and Sugar train. This train ran from 1917 to 1996 in order to deliver supplies and provide a lifeline to the isolated towns on the Nullarbor Plain between Port Augusta and Kalgoorlie. The carriage lasted on this service until 1995, until it was written off and sold to International Development Services. In 1998, it was sold again to Rail Experience in Victoria, leaving Port Augusta in 2001. Then, in 2006, it was stored derelict in its current position. It remained still until 2015, when the owners tried to move it just before the steel terminal was shut for good. However, they ran into complications and were only able to push it further inside the shed. It remains in this position today. This whole place used to be filled with train tracks, but alas, now the best you find is some tracks laid into the asphalt. The carriage is situated inside a bit of a warehouse sort of thing. It used to hold stuff for Geelong Cement. It used to transport shipments of palleted cement. There's only one door that is open to get into this carriage, and that's the one at the back. Looks like at the back here we've got a switchboard of sorts. Obviously this carriage used to have lots of windows, but they've all been smashed now. There's not a single window that is not been smashed on this carriage. Continuing down the corridor, and there's an actual mattress, which I assume would be somebody who's sleeping on it in today's sort of days. Smells really badly of urine here, but it's a door to the next compartment, and there's some nice carpet here. It's really dark in here, but I guess that would have been somebody's bed once. Both homeless and non-homeless when this train was actually running. But yeah, it really reeks in here. Bit of a kitchen area with what I assume is a fridge. And there's a visual on the front of the oven. There's an electrical diagram for this oven. Would you look at that? There's an intact light bulb in a completely smashed up carriage. Just look at this remnant. Even the inside windows are smashed. But if we open up the door, it reveals a lounge area where passengers of this train could sit down, relax, maybe have a drink or a bite to eat or something. So yeah. There's like a major road here that's got trams and cars on it, but they're all busy and they're not looking, so I'm fine. There's this other platform here to my left. This used to be part of the steel terminal where, who guessed it, steel was unloaded and reloaded onto freight trains and trucks. Once filled with tracks, and still filled with tracks and Apple Maps, this place used to house lots and lots of containers of steel. Bit of a rail track.
So wait, why are you doing this, James?
Well, pretty much we don't want to be attacked by animals. So we're dumping it the other side of the rail track.
Stuck in the platform. So this is the door, and you can see that there's steps down there which is uncommon for trains in Melbourne. These steps are so that you can access platforms that are at ground level, as well as platforms that are normal level. Little sinkage area of doom. Just look at that oozage. Ooh, oozage. Yummy. Ironic, as somebody's tried to start a fire at least one time. Festy cola bottle. Reminds me of the apple juice video.
Here goes Floyd, he's just thrown it. Holy shit!
There's a little office thing here. Let's find out what's inside. Not too much, just a bunch of smashed glass, who would have guessed, and a little sink area thing. At some point, this whole area will be redeveloped into housing and that sort of thing. So, don't know when the hell that's happening, but this is still here for now. And it's been here for ages. Well guys, that just about wraps it up. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on Flickr and Insta. Abide by the code. Don't be a FAGBEXER. And we'll see you on the next explore. Alright, this is basically the end of the video, but if you stick around, I'll give you a little bit of a history lesson on the tea and sugar train. So, as I said in the introduction, it was run by Australian National Railway, and before that it was run by the Commonwealth Railways, and it ran from 1917 to 1996. It was really the lifeline of these isolated towns that were between Port Augusta and Kalgoorlie, because it carried everything for them. Not only food and water, but anything that they wanted that came from the outside towns, such as the newspaper, and it even had specialised carriages on it, like it had a butcher, it had a rolling hospital sometimes it had a theatre carriage. Even in December time, the train driver would dress up as Santa Claus and he would give all the kids in the towns that he went to presents. So it was really an amazing service. And it existed because these people needed to be in these isolated towns to replace the wooden sleepers that were along the Trans-Australian Railway. But then, when they converted the line to concrete sleepers, there was no longer a need for these railway workers to be there. And so, without the railway workers, there wasn't any real life in the towns. And so they just died off. And so there's many ghost towns along the way. But when the train was running, the people could buy anything from the trains because it was pretty much a rolling shopping centre for them. And if they did work for the railways, then they could just have whatever their purchases were deducted from their monthly wage. And if they didn't work for the railways, which was uncommon in those towns, but it happened, then there was a banking carriage. But it was just amazing how such a train existed and how it ran for so long, but no longer exists. I basically spent an entire day researching the train and the carriage and where it came from and why it was there. So it took me a while, but I got there in the end, and it was quite fun researching it. And I encourage you to do a bit more of your own research if you are interested in such trains. I will put a few links down in the description. Anyway, that wraps it up. Thank you for watching to the very end. I hope to see you in another video.